Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So, tonight's question. Tonight's question is, what bank just announced a deal with Coinbase? PNC Bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, or other. If it's other, drop it down there. Just saying. It's a lot of news for us to get through. So, Microsoft releases its numbers. It's a beat, right? They beat on just about everything. Microsoft's market value reached $4.1 trillion. Hold that thought. After an 8% after-hours rise, right? Driven by an 18% revenue growth, Azure cloud services exceeding $75 billion in fiscal 2025, with shares up 22% year to date, while NVIDIA surpassed $4.4 trillion and Apple's 3.2. Now, what I find to be special about Microsoft is the fact that they hit $4.1 trillion. With a T, trillion. Them and NVIDIA are in that group, okay? That's the whole group. Now, if you recall, it was just a little while ago that Microsoft laid off about 9,000 people. 9,000. I know a few of them that got laid off. Rick Ritchie in the house. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. And then to turn around and record profit, not record profit, but big profit, 18% revenue growth. Okay. Now I wouldn't be upset, you got to let some people go, but 9,000 is a big number. And then to see jobs out there and talk of H-1B hires kind of ticks you off, right? Ticks me off. Because if you have an H-1B visa, that means you're not from here. You're not from around these parts. And I guarantee you, there's somebody here that can do that job. That doesn't require an H-1B visa. Just saying, there comes a point where companies are going to have to learn a lesson. If you can't employ, if you're stopping people from being employed, who's going to buy your stuff? Just saying. The Federal Reserve maintained its rate between 4.25% and 4.5%, right? 4.25 and 4.50. Not high rates. Now, I was reading something interesting, and it said that, well, there's the jobs report, right? And then there's the ADP report. And there was a bit of a difference between the two. And I'm saying to myself, at some point there will probably be reason to lower interest rates. July wasn't it. You had a vote of 9-2. Two dissenting opinions, right? And I'm saying to myself, I get it. I completely get it. But where's the data that gives the board a good reason? Where is it? Oh, and here's something else. As much as people cry and scream and yell about Powell, guess who only gets one vote? Powell. It's a board that votes. That's why you have 9 for leaving it the way it is and 2 dissenting. Just saying. Greetings, Turtle Bitcoin. Did you invest in yourself today? So I'm just kind of like, no, I completely agree with leaving the rates where they are. Completely agree with leaving the rates the way they are. As a matter of fact, I think it sets the stage for what's most likely going to be, barring any stupid events, what's most likely going to be a pretty good September. The last quarter of the year could shape up to be really, really good. Do I expect a sell-off before Christmas? Probably. So I'm expecting a lot of upward momentum in September, October, November, and then some profit taking in December. I'm expecting 2026 could possibly see a recession. Possibly. But you have a lot of companies that are going to be laying people off. They'll be doing more with less, leveraging technology, things like automation and AI. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that too. I can see that too. But with all those people being laid off, you start to realize, holy moly, the jobs number is going to change. Back to the jobs number. Well, non-government jobs took a hit while government jobs rose, right? Okay. Watch that play out. Watch that play out. I know I'm paying attention to it. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely paying attention. But right now, there's no data. I don't understand the two dissenting opinions. There's no data that supports dropping the rates in July. None. Not an ounce. What was the GDP report? Higher than expected. Yeah, hard to make that argument. Just saying. Just saying. I think you whine and you moan, right? You whine and you moan when you really don't want it to happen, but you gotta play the part. I think that's what's going on. You don't really want that to happen yet. You want those rates to get dropped when other things start to really hit. Nobody's paying attention to that combination of Microsoft laying off 9,000 people and them getting into the $4 trillion area for market cap. Nobody's paying attention to them laying off 9,000 people with 18% revenue growth. Huh? Yeah. People aren't paying attention to that all too much. D-Mac in the house. They need to raise the rates, slow down this out of control inflation. D-Mac, I don't think I've ever done this before. I don't think I've ever done this. But you could take your little behind to the corner, sir. You take your little behind the corner. Because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking inflation. I said it before. If we would have lowered rates right now, inflation would be insane. Insane. It's already not in a good place. Have you been to the store lately? I'm sure a lot of you have been to the store lately in the United States. Those numbers don't look good, do they? When was the last time you saw prices come down? You haven't. You haven't. When they say inflation has decreased, that percentage number is still up. You understand? That 2% increase, yeah, that's still an increase. Oh, we want to get inflation down to 2%. It still means that prices are going to rise or have risen 2%. What are we missing here? I think I might be the only person screaming that the egg companies have basically a cartel and prices went up and they haven't receded. They have not receded. My man, Max Ellis, has been investing. Thank you for letting us know. And D-Mac, have you invested in yourself today? But yeah, I think you're right. I think what's going to wind up happening is we're going to, the Fed is going to be pushed into a corner where the numbers start saying, hey, yeah, maybe it could be time to start lowering rates. The problem with that is that some of that data is going to say lower rates. Other parts of that data is going to say, don't do it. And I think it's going to be the jobs data that's going to do it. Thank you, D-Mac. I'm just saying, I can see how jobs numbers are going to play if we get more companies like UPS saying, oh, we're going to lay some people off, like permanently. Like I sit here and I look at everything and I kind of go, wait a minute. Microsoft laid people off. UPS is laying people off. And Waymo and Uber are taking away taxi jobs. I want you to stop and think about that. Those jobs are going away. Those people that lose those jobs are not coming back. They're not coming back. Just saying. So yeah, we've got to figure it out. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Do that. Do that. The GMB3, do that. You'll start to see what you might interpret things differently, but you'll start to see what I see. Again, you might interpret things differently, but you will at least see what I see. You'll connect the dots differently, but you will at least see those dots. That's my point. That's my point. What else do we have going on? The U.S. Department of Justice confirmed no criminal charges against Dragonfly following criticism over its 2020 Tornado Cash investment, as Tornado Cash co-founder Roman Storm faces trial for allegedly laundering $1 billion. Dude is going to face 45 years in jail if he gets convicted. No joke. No joke. So they dropped the case against Tornado Cash and going after him specifically. Yeah. So I'm wondering, were you directly involved? Right? Because if you just wrote the software and walked away, okay, you wrote the software and walked away. But if you were directly involved, well, there's the case. Why he would go to trial instead of accepting a plea deal? There are probably lots of reasons to that. Tell us who. You don't want to do that. You'll never live. Tell us who? Oh no, you started with the wrong part right there. Tell you who? That's not even funny. Yeah, that's a wrap. So there are a lot of reasons why he wouldn't take a plea deal. Especially if he believes he didn't do anything, or he believes the case is frivolous, wrought with holes. Just saying, it could be. We won't know until the end. That's honestly it. Polygon went down today. Did you know that? It went down for about an hour because of it was connected to the Heimdall upgrade. They fixed it. A little less than an hour. They fixed it. But it caused problems. Everybody causes problems. Everybody has problems. The difference between some having problems and others having problems is that some that have problems actually say what the problems were. Nobody would have known that it was a part of the Heimdall upgrade that caused the problem had they not said so. See what I mean? While other projects are kind of like, oh, well, we had a little bit of a problem. It's taken care of now. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Shh, go away. Go on. Yeah. Big difference in how that's handled. So I listen to people that talk a lot of nonsense, a lot of crap about Ethereum. But this is why they've been around for 10 years. 10 years today. I announced it this morning. 10-year anniversary today. Just saying. So Polygon had a problem, which is based on Ethereum, which is why I was talking about it. Polygon had a problem. They said what the problem was. They fixed it in an hour. Moving on. There are a lot of projects out there that I wish were like that. A lot. Something else about profits today. Let's see. Robinhood reported $989 million in Q2 sales, a 45% year over year increase. That's a lot, right? With $386 million in profits. Shares up, what they're saying, 184% year to date. That's all I can say. Just, yeah. Firing on all cylinders, are they? Is that something you would say? That's something I would say. They're definitely firing on all cylinders. And don't forget, Robinhood acquired Bitstamp for $220 million. And I forgot how much they bought WonderFi for. Mr. Wonderful, Shark Tank, yeah, WonderFi. They've been adding. They're adding by acquisition. Again, I look at some of these banks and I'm like, are you kidding me? How are you not just going out and buying in exchange? You've got billions sitting on the sidelines. Billions. And you'll make it back like that. Why don't you go out and buy one? Call it a day. And they're not. It's sad. Don't forget, tonight's question is, what bank just announced a deal with Coinbase? PNC Bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, other. If it's other, drop it down here. Somebody said it was other, and I don't see a response down here. Just saying, I want to know. I need to know what you're thinking. Who's the other? White House, now, something else came out. White House came out with a 166-page crypto asset reporting framework, CARF, to require U.S. taxpayers to report foreign digital asset accounts. Here's the big thing: excluding DeFi transactions. Did you hear what I said? Excluding DeFi transactions. That sounds odd, doesn't it? You want us to pay taxes on everything, but don't worry about DeFi transactions. Why would that be? Oh, I don't know. There are a couple of companies, attached to the new regime, and they're deep into DeFi. That's why. That's my theory. Don't have to pay taxes on DeFi transactions. Yo, Lex Luthor's in the house. So I'm just wondering. That's what I'm talking about. Lex. I'm just wondering how. So you could do a lot of DeFi transactions, making money, and you don't have to pay taxes on that? I'm pretty sure some of us are going to be looking into DeFi transactions. Foreign DeFi transactions. Because I don't have to worry about paying taxes on that. It's in the document. It's in the CARF. There was also no mention of a Bitcoin reserve, which I would have thought would have been a part of the framework, right? Right? It makes sense? Yeah, it makes sense. But it wasn't there. But I'm just wondering what kind of DeFi transactions can we get involved in? Right? So it's sort of like how you have a Roth IRA, right? There are so many things that you can put into a Roth. Options. There's a lot of things you can do with a Roth. Go talk to your financial advisors. There's a lot. So it's sort of like that. Oh, wait a minute. There's a lot I can put into DeFi. Are you kidding? There's a lot I can put into DeFi, and you're saying I don't have to pay taxes on it? Oh, I'm off to the freaking races now. We shall be boning up on CARF, and we shall be looking at how we can make money off of DeFi transactions, foreign DeFi transactions. out of country DeFi transactions. Oh yeah, that's going to happen. And they want you to start reporting your foreign accounts. I told you before, I have no issue paying taxes. If I'm paying taxes, that means I'm making money, or I made money. I got no problem with that. Got no problem with that. So track your investments and then do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Captain Banana in the house, and she has invested in herself. I don't have a brown shirt. Thank you, but I don't have a brown shirt. I'm not big on brown. Not big on brown. Just, I mean, I used to have a really nice brown suit, though. I did. I really did. But I will be paying attention to that crypto asset reporting framework. Crypto asset reporting framework. CARF. Look into it. That's going to be good reading. And the reason why is because I want to know the loopholes that are in that framework. If you're going to tell me I can put money into... No, it's not. My chair is black. So, see, brown, black. Just saying. The brown t-shirt. Brown t-shirt. I don't have a brown t-shirt. I have a pink t-shirt. I don't have a brown t-shirt. Brown. I don't have anything that's brown. I don't even think I have the suit. Oh, no, I still have the suit. Thank you. No, it was black. Yesterday was black with like white buttons. Oh yeah, my camera colors are all messed up. And you know why? It's because of the blue. It's because of the blue. I like the blue. It's been blue for years, and I've been thinking I want to change the colors. And there is a really nice slate gray that I'm thinking about painting those walls. I think that would be nice. I don't need no black background. I am black. You'd never see me unless I smile. That's not cute. You trying to be funny? What else is there? ARK Invest. Now this I found very interesting. ARK Invest sold $105.3 million of Coinbase shares, making it used to be the number one holding that ARK Invest had. Now it's number 2 behind Tesla. They've got $1 billion worth of Tesla and about 803 million left for Coinbase. Oh no, Captain Banana, it probably is the lights. Excuse me. But imagine, she dumped Coinbase while it was high. I'm just saying, Kathy Wood's not playing games. She's not playing games. Her investment in Tesla, though, I'm not feeling that one. Now, some people might think I'm nuts, but I want you to think about this. There have been a few things that have come out about Tesla that I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to invest in Tesla. One, car is going fast, doesn't see the kid running down the street, walking across the street, hits the kid. It was a test. It wasn't a real kid. Then it's coming toward a wall. Instead of stopping, it doesn't stop. It turns off FSD, full self-driving, a split second before it hits the wall. So we could say, well, FSD was not involved. 2 reasons why I wouldn't go for it. Third reason, they do everything by camera. They don't do anything by radar or LiDAR. Yeah, that's a no bueno situation. To me, that is a no bueno situation, so that's not going to happen. That's absolutely not going to happen. So I can't see myself investing in, in Tesla. I can invest in Waymo because they called out that the reason why they invested so much in Tesla is because of their robo taxi platform. And I'm like, I think Waymo's going to do better. I think Waymo's going to do better. There's a company out there that has technology where it retrofits onto existing semi trucks to make them full self-driving. So imagine, you don't need a new truck. You can still use the old trucks. Retrofit them with this equipment. Off to the races. Wow. I'm looking for things like that. I told you, I'm starting to do a lot of research on what are the next jobs? What are the next jobs? Because I don't know what they are yet. Drivers, okay, that's going away. Logistics, that's going away. So where are all those drivers going to go? The Teamsters Union? Where are all your people going? Where are all your people going? Are they going to go work on a farm? Are they going to take classes, learn how to install solar? Work on wind farms? What are they going to do? I'm really paying attention to that. Because warehouse jobs have already started going away in droves. As things become more automated, you kidding me? So I'm still trying to figure it out. Still trying to figure it out. I don't know. If I sleep on Tesla, I will not be missing out big. I hear you though. But I've got other things that I'm like, okay, I can do those. I don't like Elon Musk at all. Period. I will not give him my money. Period. Does the company have decent tech? Yes, decent tech. Here's where they get punched in the mouth. It is a reason. It is a reason. It's my reason. It doesn't have to be your reason. Here's where they get punched in the mouth from a technical perspective. There's better tech in China. In the United States, we keep thinking we have the best tech, we have the best tech, we have the best tech. You need to go do research in China. You need to go do research in China. Some of that tech is ridiculous. It's like, why haven't you done that? Why haven't you guys have the tech? How come you haven't done that? Oh, because they want to draw it out. I'm gonna tell you, they're not behind Elon. They're not behind Elon, and they play a different game. You know what? Let's run with the idea that they're behind Elon. Then why has BYD been eating Elon's lunch? And companies like BYD. Battery tech is better. Car tech is better, cheaper. What's the average keep of a car? Right? You start to think about that. Like, how long is somebody going to keep a car? And I'll be completely frank with you. How long will it be before people stop buying cars, stop leasing cars? Just like freaking city bike. I could just go outside, hop in a car, go do what I got to do, and leave that car wherever it is. Think about that. We're moving into a different kind of world. Yeah, in a race, there's always a back and forth. Some of those EVs are already here. And it's going to grow. Believe it, it's going to grow. But you're right, though. They do not want those cars here. But as they see those cars getting rolled out in other countries, they're going to be sitting there going, holy crap, where is it? You remember when they tried to, hold back Datsun? I'm old. I remember Datsun. Do you remember Datsun? DATSUN, Datsun. Remember that? You want to know what they're called now? They grew up to be Toyota. Chinese EVs are not bad, but they are basically like Tesla from Temu. No, some of them have better quality. And they do more for less. Haven't you recognized that's China's game plan? When OpenAI came out with ChatGPT, it was like, oh yeah, Then they dropped DeepSeek and Quen and said, here you go for free. You can put a 14B, and I said this before, you can put a 14B version of DeepSeek and Quen up against ChatGPT, and wow. Comparable. It's nuts. But yeah, when I look at the quality of the cars that are out there, I think that there are a lot, and not just against Tesla. I think that there are a lot of cars out there that we used to think, oh my God, this car is so good. It's luxury, blah, 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 blah. But remember when you used to get into a Mercedes and leather really was leather? Now they're completely okay calling plastic leather. They're okay with calling fake leather in your car leather. To see how many recalls there are and all this good stuff. They're not, the quality isn't there anymore. And here's what's worse. They make it beyond difficult for you to work on your own car. Yeah. So a lot of people are starting to go, I don't need a Mercedes. I need point A to point B that fits me. Excuse me. Yeah. I can buy a Lincoln Navigator for 0% financing. A Navigator, a Lincoln Aviator, 0% financing for 48 months. Meanwhile, Mercedes-Benz, their rate is still high. But I can go get that luxury car that comes with a lot of stuff. And we're not saying that it's as good as a Mercedes. We're not saying that. But we're saying it comes with a lot of stuff for 0% financing. Zero. Automobile industry is starting to take it on the chin. I learned to drive on a Datsun. You're not that old, girl. Cut that out. You like what? 23, 24 tops. Don't be over here fibbing. Some of them have empty compartments. There are airbags. Where should we? I have no idea what you're talking about. Is it about the Chinese cars? I'm talking about all kinds of cars. The quality of cars these days has not been, it's not been what I've been used to. It just hasn't been. So spending a lot of money on a BMW or a Mercedes, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the value when you're calling plastic leather. It's not leather. When they say, oh, leather seating, is it really leather? Because you're not supposed to say it's leather if it's not leather. Even if it's cheap leather, you don't say it's leather. In my lifetime, I've had 3 or 4 Fords. And they've all done me well. They've all done me well. When I have to rent a car, you want to know what I rent? Usually an Expedition. Usually a Ford Expedition. I'm a big dude. It fits. It's comfy. You know? Big saying, what's good? Oh man, I'm jealous. Okay, I don't mean to be mean, big saying, but you can take your little behind to the corner because I'm a little jealous right now, like for real. I'm like mad jealous right now. You got to go way back to find cars of quality. You got to go way back. So when I think about investing, I'm thinking the same way. So back to the original conversation Lex and I were having about me not wanting to invest in Tesla. I'm not going to invest in Tesla because I don't trust Elon. That's not going to happen. That's not a thing. If I can't trust the management of a company, there's no reason for me to invest. I don't care what anybody thinks. It doesn't fit my risk framework. Even when I know I can make money, right? Because it makes me stop and wonder, well, I might be able to make some money. How much money? For how long? Am I going to get caught out there? Yeah, no, I'm good off that. I don't want that kind of risk. I do not want that kind of risk. And right now, investing in an automobile company, I don't know. And big saying, have you invested in yourself today? What else? Pay cash. The new MDXs have 3.5 liter motor, minus 3. Yeah. They shave stuff. HBCU, what's good? Man, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, I look at how I invest, and you know how I tell you guys, I want to know who's involved. I want to know, what they're doing, what their use cases are, all that kind of stuff. That applies to everything that I do. I want to know what's the good and what's the bad about you. What's the good and what's the bad about your company? Do you understand what's good? Do you understand what's bad? I want to understand all of that. Because I'm about to put my money down. Blood, sweat, and tears. It's not my money. It's my kids' money. Shh, don't. They might hear me. Shh, it's my kids' money. Because I live for my last name. Right? That's how I live. So I look at that and I'm just like, Yeah, my alternative to Tesla is not an automobile company, bruh. That's what I've been saying to you. It's not an automobile company. It's not. I just can't. I told you where I was looking. I'm looking at energy. I'm looking at energy. What I'm really looking for, what I'm really waiting for is for the next battery manufacturer. Right now, if you get solar put in your house, Sunrun tries to push Tesla batteries. And I'm like, nah, I'm good off that. Because why does Tesla need to look into my house to see what I'm doing? Nope, I'm good off that. I'm very big on closed network, operations. So my solar panels, they need to phone home. It's on a guest network. It's not on the real network. I can see everything that it does. I can see every place that it goes, all that good stuff. I don't need to understand Tesla. I understand its CEO, and I don't like him. I don't trust him. Period. There are other places where I can make money. I don't have to make money off of Tesla. I can put my money. You can put your money in Tesla, and I can put my money in NVIDIA right now. We'll both make money. I can put my money in AMD. You want to know why I would put my money in AMD? Because she graduated from my high school. I think she was a year behind me. CEO graduated from my high school, Bronx High School of Science. So I can put my money in AMD and be totally happy with it. Totally happy with it. So yeah, I don't play that nonsense. I play for real. If I'm not gonna play, it's sort of like, if I don't like you as a person, I'm not gonna break bread with you. If I don't like you as a person, I'm not going out for drinks with you. Time is something I don't get back. So why would I waste my time hanging out with you? I can go home and wash my hair. So I get you. I completely get you. They're firing. Tesla is firing on all pistons. I just don't like him. If he was going away from the decision making of Tesla, I'd be cool with that. Then I might. Who the leader is now is not necessarily going to be the leader, in the future. I'm looking for the next battery company. I am looking for the next battery company. I'm looking for the next battery company that can go grab some of these batteries out of some of these cars that are almost perfectly fine, refurbish them because there's probably only one or two cells that have failed, and then make it so that those cells can fail over properly and you can order them online. Boop. Just change this cell right quick. Yeah. Change the cells in one of those batteries like a freaking Duracell. I'm just saying. I'm looking for the next battery company. No, Tesla is not the next battery company. Tesla is the battery company. Tesla is the battery company. They are the leader right now. I'm not investing in the leader. There's only one place for it to go. Down. And they've got their tentacles in too many things involving your house. I'm like, nah, I'm good off that. Not going to happen. So if I don't buy the car, if I'm not willing to buy the car, I'm definitely not willing to buy the stock. And there are too many other places where I can make more money. Like I said, I'm looking at energy. I'm looking at energy, but I'm looking at energy from a different perspective. Because energy price is going to go up for everybody in the United States if they're not prepared. You're going to see those energy prices completely skyrocket. So be prepared. Wind, solar, SMR, water. Just saying, there's a lot. There's a lot that I'm looking into. Battery, AI, satellites, weapon systems. You have no idea. Lex Luthor, you need to get off of that. You need to get off that idea that somebody, just because they disagree with you, that they haven't done their own research. I've done my research on Tesla. I know what they're involved in. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. I just don't agree with giving my money to Tesla, period. Just a difference of opinion. I've done my research. I know what they do. But if I really wanted to get involved with what Tesla does, there are so many other companies that are there. So many. And if I'm looking at how much money I can make more money with some of these other companies than I would with Tesla. Just saying. So, think about that. It's a good investment for you. Does not fit into my risk framework. Fits into your risk framework. That's what makes the world go round, right? You have your risk framework, I have my risk framework. There are things I'm willing to do, things you're willing to do. Things I'm not willing to do, things you're not willing to do. It's what makes the world go round. Just saying. So for me, I was skeptical over, I wasn't skeptical, but I was skeptical over the company I was dealing with, Sunrun, to put my solar up. And I was talking to this guy, the salesman, and he told me about his brother. And I was like, you're full of it. Until I looked up his brother. He's not full of it. And I was like, damn, this guy's got like the next patent on solar. Because he figured out the material, the next material. Flexible material, the kind of material that you can put on anything. It just has to be produced. And they're thinking, yeah, it's probably not gonna be there for like 20, 30 years. Imagine. But already patented. Already proven to work. Wow. I'm looking for something like that in the battery space. In the battery space. I think that's going to be huge. I don't know what he's achieved, so I have no respect for his achievements. What he has actually achieved. But makes no never mind to me, because he has no effect on my bags. But it goes toward, if you're looking at a project, if you're looking at a business, if you're looking at a stock, if you're looking at a crypto, know the players that are involved. At the end of the day, that's the real lesson. Know the players that are involved. Be able to say to yourself that, okay, I can go for that. I can do that. Right? I can buy into that. It's not just the project itself, but it's who's involved. So I pay attention to that. And if something in your gut tells you no, don't do it. Right? Because that's the whole, do your own research. We all know what that means. Know your entries and exits. We all know what that means. And absolutely invest deliberately. If your gut tells, if it has a funny feeling about making that investment, don't do it. Because that means you wouldn't be investing deliberately. That means you really are taking a chance. Some things are actually taking a chance, a leap of faith, or whatever you want to call it. However, my gut tells me don't do something, I'm good off that. I won't do it. To the point of, I could wake up in the morning and know that I'm not in a bad mood, but I'm not necessarily in a good mood, and I'll be like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't go outside that much today. I will literally say that to myself and do it. I'll stop myself from going outside, having to deal with people. Just avoid the conflict. But when it comes to investment, when it comes to my money, the money that I'm going to be leaving to my kids, I don't like to play with that. So I listen to everything that's going on. Yo, Enrique Thompson, thank you for letting me know the investment's done. My wife hates Elon, so I have to buy the electric Cadillac Escalade EV instead. Oh, damn, I saw it. Ooh. Ouch. Ouch. Wait a minute. Cadillac is GMC, isn't it? Cadillac is GMC, because I have the Hummer. I have the Hummer EV, and had a couple of problems with it. Hopefully this time they figured it out, but I've had a couple of problems with it. If there's one more problem with it, it's out. So do your research on that. Do your research. I will say this though. There is a market for bigger EVs, because not all of us are this big. Not all of us are this big. We need a big EV. And there isn't one. And from what I understand, GMC is actually thinking about, GMC, Ford, they're actually thinking about getting out of the EV game now that they don't have to get in the EV game. Like, oh, we don't have to do that? Oh, shut those down. Let's get back to the gas. I've never had spilled oil in my driveway, man. Never. Never, not once. Nope. Been lucky that way. Knock on wood. Been lucky that way. But what I do think about is, if I buy an EV, what am I missing out on? I have one pedal driving. I miss out on having to, pay for brakes all the damn time. I miss out on oil changes, like you said. I miss out on all the dumb crap that the most you're going to do is rotate your tires. By the time you have to rotate your tires, it's time for new ones anyway. Next. We've been test driving several brands. I hooked up with EV groups on Facebook that give real reviews. Yeah, buddy. Reach out if you ever want to know about the Hummer. Just saying. Enrique, I hear you hate EVs. I totally get it. Wait a minute. I need to see balance in what they do and say at the same time. Yes, Captain Banana. That way I know I can trust them. Unfortunately, not the case with him. We're in the same boat. Same boat. It's sort of like I won't do business with Gemini. I mean, they don't need me. They're worth, bazillions. They don't need me. But I won't use Gemini, with the Winklevoss twins. I told you I don't like them. So there's no reason for me to give them my money. I don't give people money that don't appreciate me. That's one of my biggest rules. Because, I grew up in the United States. So I don't go where I'm not appreciated. Just saying. Was it? He has, I think my boy has two Kias. EVs. Loves them. And I have to say, some of those Kias be looking good. I'm just saying. My sons don't like them because they're Kias. But they look good. I'm just saying. Point A to point B in style. You got everything in the car that you need. Moving on. Just saying. Trustworthy standards. Yep. Yeah, that's why she hates Elon. All right, so we got to get to this. Tonight's question. What bank just announced a deal with Coinbase? PNC Bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, other. It was JP Morgan. JP Morgan partnered with Coinbase to enable Chase bank account integration with crypto wallets, allowing credit card reward point conversions to crypto starting in 2026, with Chase credit card use on Coinbase available by the end of fall 2025. That's huge. What they're saying is, we have an on-ramp. We're creating an on-ramp, and here's the on-ramp. You want to do crypto? That's one of the best ways for a bank to be able to do crypto without doing crypto. You hear me? It's one of the best ways for a bank to do crypto without doing crypto. Now, I just need to know how they make their money. How does JP Morgan make their money? That's all I'm thinking about. That's what I know. That's what I need to know about. If I understand how they make their money, like how much do you get charged for flipping your points to crypto? Imagine. One of my boys is on a plane like every week. Poor guy. Every week. He's on a plane so much that he's got card points. I mean, he's got points where he will be a gold member for life. For life. He's like, dude, I can't wait to not have any more points. He goes, I'm done. He goes, I got like one and a half more years, and then he's done. The only plane he'll be getting on is go see the grandbabies. Oh my God, his grandbabies are so cute. They're so cute. One looks like his wife, and the other one looks like him. Devilish little eyes. Devilish little blue eyes. His son did well. His daughter did well. I mean, I haven't met the son's wife. As a matter of fact, I haven't met the son, but I met the daughter and her new husband. And I was hoping that she would be at the party I just went to. But she was out at another party. It's crazy. Her husband was there, though. Dion's awesome. I invested in myself today. Salute to you too, Jetpack Joe. But yeah, so imagine. PNC Bank makes a deal. They're going to have a wallet. They're going to do all this stuff. JP Morgan says, oh, we can cut a similar deal. It's similar, not the same. Similar, not the same. Close. Like I said, it's a kind of deal where a bank can get involved in crypto without getting involved in crypto. Right? So Coinbase just knocked it out the freaking park. That's the point. Coinbase just knocked the crap out of it. Coinbase said, "Oh, nobody, you've had all this time to go buy an exchange, and none of you moved. Oh, we got something for you." And they went out and negotiated a couple of deals. Wow. Big wow. They just landed PNC Bank, a little super regional. They cover like 2 or 3 regions, right? And now they just scored the #1 bank in the United States. I don't care what anybody says. JP Morgan is the #1 bank in the United States. By far, hands down, period. Excuse me, let's not even play games. That's not even open for debate. That's who they just landed. Meanwhile, Bank Social has deals going on with credit unions. You think Bank of America is next? Possible. Possible. If Jane Fraser would wake up, she'd be like, maybe we should go buy a little something, something. Jane Fraser could flip a switch and go buy. Kraken is only worth, they're trying to go for a $15 billion valuation, which means that their valuation currently is lower than $15 billion. Which means that if you walk in the door and say, here's a check for $15 billion, get the hell out, we're going to take over the company, that could probably happen real fast. But they're sleeping, snoring. Coinbase said, bet, hold my beer. Imagine. That's deep in bed. JP Morgan Chase is smart. They're tying it to a credit card. They're tying it to their cards so that you can use their cards to buy crypto. Yeah. Who are they trying to smack in the mouth? Who else are they trying to smack in the mouth? Come on, you guys can guess this. One guess? Come on. They only need to buy one exchange. They don't need to buy many. They need to buy one exchange. So not bad. And exchanges are not going to actually have a reason to exist for all that much longer. That's why they're all diversifying in what they do. I know it sounds crazy what I just said, right? Right? Hear me out. You own a store. You accept crypto. Your vendors accept crypto. So you're able to buy crypto. You get paid in crypto. You pay your employees in crypto. That's the loop. That's the cycle. That's everything. That's the circle of life. Yeah, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Once you do that, everything moves on crypto. The hell I need an exchange for? Oh. The reason for an exchange diminishes, right? It diminishes. Because that circle is there. I can spend crypto, get more crypto. Spend crypto, get more crypto. The reason for an exchange, for a centralized exchange, notice how I said centralized. I threw that in there on you. Centralized exchange diminishes. What happens? Oh, I can use a DEX to get whatever other coins I want. See how that starts to happen? That's why everybody's freaking out. How the hell do we do this? How do we become the middlemen for a little while at least, drag this out a little bit? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Why do you think all the banks are trying to get involved in DeFi? Yeah. Bruh, Jamie Dimon is still talking crap about crypto, and it's 2025, man. It's 2025. And just think about it. It's back then you didn't know that he was talking out the side of his mouth. Now we know he's talking out the side of his mouth. Look at the deal they just cut. No, we're not going to do crypto. No, not crypto. What? Liar. They had JP Coin. They've had JP Coin for years. Oh, we're not going to do crypto. Lies. Really? Come on. So you start to realize, like, holy moly, that's a bigger deal than you thought. No, his brain cells can handle evolution. Rethink that. He did it on purpose. It was funny, but he did it on purpose. Pay attention over here while I'm doing this over here. Yeah. And you start to realize, holy moly. So now I'm just waiting for the next bank. D-Mac, you think it's going to be Bank of America? I think it's going to be Citi. I think it's going to be Citi. Because Citi has been showing big brass on the street these days. They snatched a bunch of people from freaking Goldman, from Morgan, from Bank of America. They were just snatching people. For what, you say? For AI. That's what they were snatching them for. For AI and automation. Give me that. Jane Fraser's not afraid of cutting a check to get what she needs, get what she wants, if she can see the value. So I would not put it past her to cut a check to buy an exchange. Because buying an exchange is like buying a money printer. Just saying. Yeah, I'm not touching either one of those. Well, I might play around with Fart, but I'm not playing around with Casper. It's a Jedi mind trick, is what you meant to say. Right? This is a Jedi mind trick. No reason to look at my left hand. I'm just saying. So when I look at all this stuff and I look at, JP Morgan cutting a check, or cutting a deal with Coinbase, when I look at the ability for Bank of America, Citi has $1.417 trillion cash on hand, cash equivalents. They could cut a check. Now, mind you, all these banks have that cash on hand because they have to have that in reserve, right? But I guarantee you, all of them have enough to go buy a few Krakens. A few Krakens. They don't require a few Krakens. They require one. Immediately drops them into the game. Immediately. Boop. And let me tell you something. I do not want to see Coinbase cut a deal with Citi or Bank of America or any other bank. Why? I need competition. Look what happened when all the ETFs came out. Who was the number one custodian? Coinbase. It's only now that you're starting to see Anchorage Digital be added into the mix. I need the competition. I absolutely need the competition. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if Jane Fraser calls me up and says, "Hey, Eddie, which one do you think I should buy? We're going to go out and buy one. Come down to my office. You used to be an employee here. Come down to my office. Let's have a conversation." How would you run a company like that? This is how I would run a company like that. How would you create products from that company like that? This is how I create the products like that. Citi can cut a check. Name a bank. They can probably cut a check. Even teensy weensy little PNC Bank has $39 billion cash and cash equivalents on hand. They could have cut some kind of a deal. They could have cut a cash and stock deal. All these other banks, all these big boy, big girl banks, they can just cut a check. Done. Cut a check and be done with it. And guess what? The US government would love it because then there would be another exchange that would be regulated Ta-da. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community because it's a very different community. Very different. We teach each other. We argue with each other. At the end of the day, the only thing that we want is for each other's success to be real. That's it. Thank you, D-Mac. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't see BOA sitting on the sidelines. Yeah, I don't see them sitting on the sidelines either. But Bank of America is a freaking mess. Wells is a mess. I have to tell you now, the only way that they could get into the game the way JP Morgan did, the way PNC did, they'd have to cut a check. They would absolutely have to cut a check. They can't do it themselves. They cannot do it themselves. Forget that. Get that out of your head. They would have to cut a check. So sitting on the sidelines, I believe you, but I think they would have to cut a check. I'm actually shocked that JP Morgan didn't cut a check and just go buy one, that they cut a deal. I'm like, it's kind of a punk way out for a company their size. I would have expected them to go buy something, just be like, give me that. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I could definitely see it. TD Bank's not a wild card. TD Bank got in trouble. Remember, I did that show and I told you about it. And then Canadian Broadcast Corporation snipped one of my videos talking about how TD Bank got in trouble. And they just got in trouble again. I don't think TD Bank is a wild card. I think TD Bank has to do something. But I want you to think about this. TD is Canadian based. They should have been the ones to buy WonderFi, but they didn't. Ta-da. Anyway, everybody, I got to go. This is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I'm doing, smash the likes. Tell your friends about us. We're trying to inch toward 25,000 people subscribing by the end of the year. Something else I'd like you to do. Just keep coming back. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. Everybody have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the Crypto Daily. Have a good one. Bye-bye.